Frack on. Welcome to another episode of Frack the Canon. I am joined by the coolest motherfuckers around. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being on. So I think this is the last movie of Indiana Jones we will get with Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. What
I
did you?
100% agree. I think he's aged out of Indiana Jones. I think he's happy to have aged out of Indiana Jones, honestly.
I think so too. I think he said to I need one more or whatever. Because like, what was the last one? Kingdom of Crystal Skull, and then
Yeah,
this one.
the aliens one.
We didn't talk about those movies. I don't talk
I
about those
don't
movies.
I don't consider Kingdom the Crystal Skull one part of the Indiana Jones franchise.
That was a fanfic. That was very expensive fanfic that made it to got international distribution. Yeah, I didn't care for it. I didn't care for this movie either. I'm like this.
What? So we're
I
talking
can't.
about the Dial of Destiny
Yes.
here.
You, have we met? My memory's a little fuzzy. Are you still a Nazi? Give him hell, Indiana Jones! What are you doing here? Let's get you! Hang on!
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I was like, dude, this is like, oh my god. I was like, because the epilogue is like 30 minutes long. I'm like, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Like, I'm Catholic. It's okay. Um,
Those are the Mormons.
I said what I
You
said.
said Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Is that the Mormons?
Those are the Mormons.
Oops. Anywho, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. I just like, this is a long 30 minutes. I'm like, him trying to escape from the Nazis in Germany, and then I'm like, it time jumps to the 60s and one of the Land of the Moon. I'm like, all right, it makes sense. Like I just felt like from that 30 minutes of them setting up, because like the bait and switch of the Lands of Destiny and the Akamathera machine, I forget how it's pronounced, but I know of it because I used to read those magazines, Kid Discovery,
Mhm.
and it was like, I'm like, okay, and then at the end too, you're like, I'm like, um, I wasn't expecting that, but I kind of was. But I'm like, I was like, for some reason, I did not buy that, and I didn't. It grazed again. I was rubbing against that ending of him going back in time and really running into Plato or Socrates. I forgot who it was, but I was like,
Oh my God. Archimedes.
was it Archimedes? I thought it was okay. Okay, I'll take your word for it. You know what?
I'm
What
pretty
did you think
sure.
of him? What did you think of this movie? Well, I'll
I
go.
I actually really liked it. Like I thought I wasn't gonna like it because I was like, the original Indiana Jones trilogy is like such an epic, you know, feat of movies. And they're part of my childhood, like really something I used to watch all the time. And so I was like, I'm not gonna like this movie, which I actually think helped me enjoy it more because I got in it expecting to hate it, and then I ended up really liking it because like I thought that he had aged with the role. Like I kind of liked that they didn't try to make him into this useful old person. Like he played his age, and it was another adventure. Like um of course they have to find all the stuff they have to find, like it's always like a treasure hunt, and then it has that little supernatural twist at the end, and the Nazis were the bad guys again. I love when Nazis are bad guys because you can just like be like, I don't care about them at all because there's you can just mow through them. They're such great like bad guys. But yeah, I ended up really liking it a lot more than I thought I would.
No, like I found myself like maybe I'm old, maybe I'm bitter, but I'm like I just felt myself getting bored. I'm like, dude, like why? Like I love the Nazi stuff, but I'm like, why did Mad Maxon want it? What was his character's name? I forgot to put him like why did he care again? Like, oh, he was trying to restore,
Hmm.
like go back in time and save the Nazis. I'm like, well, right there, I'm
He wanted to take out Hitler and
that's
then
right,
fix Hitler's mistakes.
and right there, well, I'm really already rooting against it to fail. So, but I'm just like, I did not. I found myself just not having fun with this movie too. I was like, I don't know what I didn't like about it, but I was just like, dude, like I don't know what I wanted. I really, because like I said, I love the idea of Indiana Jones still going on an adventure. Like, okay, cool, that's kind of cool. Like an older gentleman, an older person going out and still kicking butt. Cool. But this one, I was like, I don't like, I don't know what expected. Like, my favorite Indiana Jones movie to this day is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's my favorite Indiana Jones movie, and it's got all those tropes too, like you said. But for some
Mhm.
reason, this one, I was rubbing against it too, like a lot, like really hard. Like even like
Mhm.
I love Antonio Banderas, and I'm like, why is Antonio Banderas in this movie? Like it took me out of the movie. Like, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
didn't bug me. I just, I seem to have a lot of heart, and it kind of fixed some of the action tropes that,
mhm.
I think exist. Like, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, so spoiler, but Antonio Banderas dies in this movie, and um, there's a scene where his goddaughter is celebrating, like we got this thing, and Harrison Ford sits there, and he's like, my friend was just murdered, like what the heck? And I think that doesn't happen enough in action movies. Like there's just a lot of people that just, they're like, oh, my friend's died, but like let me go do this other thing. Like and so I felt like there was a lot of little things in this movie that I really liked.
There was no, I that was pretty cool. Like, I love those human moments. Like those were great moments. But I was just overall like, and what's her name? The goddaughter. I forgot the actress's name. I forgot the character's name. What was? You know what? Let me just look
I'm
it up.
not gonna be
But
able to help you here. Yeah.
let me go to IMDb.com. And now a company of Amazon. I was just like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she played Helena. So I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, great, cool, this is awesome. But I'm like, why is she here? Like, what is she at? I don't. The writer in me kicked in. I'm like, dude, like what? Like, no.
I
'Cause I
think
want
she
to
was
do.
a replacement child for him. Because I mean, you find out that his son passed, in the war.
Yeah,
And then he had to kind of be a father to her again in this movie. I think it was a redemption moment for him.
and I kind of wish you would have touched on that too. Like, I
I mean, he
now talk
spent all the most of the movie trying to help her out.
like talking to you now out loud. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I guess his goal was to try to go back in time and stop his son from enlisting. But to me, I was like, I didn't buy it for some reason. I did not buy that.
I don't really think that was his goal. I think that was maybe in his mind, but I think his goal was really to save her from herself in a lot of ways.
I didn't get that in the movie. Like, at least, or maybe again, maybe I
Because
misread it.
he kept working with her. Like he didn't need her at a certain point.
True, that's true. That's a
And
very valid point.
he like cared about the kid. The kid got in danger and he's like, we need to make sure that he's okay. Like they knew that he'd been captured, but they're like, we need to do this to like, you know, ensure his safety. Like it was always about saving the people that he was with.
Hmm. No, that's true. That's very true. Um, I was just not a fan of this movie. Like, out of the three movies we discussed, Rise of the Beast was the most fun.
Whereas I actually think I liked Indiana Jones the best out of the three
Really?
movies that I watched in my COVID fever dream. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Like it was the one like I had to stop. I had limited time still to watch, but I had to take a break and then finish it later. And the whole time I was taking a break, I was like, I just want to go watch it and finish this movie.
that's why I suggest get an iPhone or whatever, put it or an iPad and put it on the app.
But see, I have a child, so
Take a we're adding this to the game. Every time someone says I have a child, take a shot. Um, I was just very disappointed with this movie, and I don't think I was the only one. I think I remember saying I'm like I was excited too because it was James Mangold. I'm like, dude, you did one of my favorite. You did 310 to Yuma. I love 310 to Yuma. You did Logan. I love that movie. Wolverine was great up until the third act. I'm like, all right, I'll give you 2/3 for that one. Um, and this one I was just like, dude, like it felt weird. It felt like it wanted to be its own thing, but if I fell asleep a couple times during that movie too.
See, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a good last adventure for him. It still had the like, let's find the treasure that we like in Indiana Jones, and like fun characters, and then the little, as I said, the little supernatural twist at the end. Nazis, I just, it gave me what I wanted for this
That's
movie.
fair. That's totally fair. I was just. Mm.
You're too tied to the old movies.
You know
Those
what?
are your.
It could be that. Like, here's the thing. What is the last movie that blew my mind? Godzilla -1. That's the last newish movie that I saw. I'm like, and Barbie. I'm like, these are awesome. These are great.
Yeah, I didn't like Barbie, and I'm gonna get hate for that probably, but I wanted to like that movie so much. I saw it late too, so everyone's like, "This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be amazing." And I remember watching it and being like, "I would rather like sleep right now."
Oh my God, Sarah. What?
Yeah, I just I it's not my, like, Greta, like, it's not even my favorite movie of hers. I think Lady Bird might be my favorite movie of hers.
I have to see. It's on my Netflix list. I've yet to watch it. I will watch it, but I'm like
Yeah,
now. I was blown away by. I'm like, dude, this is what you. I know she was an actress, and I saw her in another movie with Ben Affleck, not Ben Affleck, Ben Stiller or Seth Green. One of those two. I think it was Ben Stiller or Adam Sandler. One of those two. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't know she made movies, so I know Lady Bird's her first movie, so I want
mhm.
to go watch it, go back and watch it. But yeah, again, so back to Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I was not. I was like, I think maybe it could be it. I don't think it is. I was just like, it's not like here. I like Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that was cool. I'm like,
hmm
so I'm like, I do. It was just not the. It was not what I wanted, not what I expected. Like, I didn't like what I got. Like, even if it was something, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to expect from this movie, but I was okay. Cool.
Yeah.
The last adventure, the last.
The last
I did
straw.
like. I will say this: when he meets up again with Marion at the end, and they kind of, I forgot if they kiss or hug or whatever. I'm like, all right, I did cheer up, but I'm like, that's the only part I really cared because I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They're back together again.
Yeah. I thought it was a good last adventure. You don't expect him to do the big physical stunts that he did in the other movies or any of that. It's just, it was, I think, appropriate to his character. And I went in not comparing it to the original trilogy. And I think that's the way to do it. Just let it stand alone as an Indiana Jones movie. And as I said, I actually enjoyed
I didn't like it. I
it.
did not like it. I didn't like. I don't hate it. It's like the worst movie ever. But I'm just like, oh, it wasn't for me. To me, my last good one is Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. That's my favorite one. We don't talk about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That didn't exist. That's a fanfic. That's not canon.
I agree. That movie was awful.
That was a really piece of poop. Big piece of poop.
Yeah.
Final comment, final thoughts.
No, I think I'm good. Just if you want to buy Legos from me, I have a store in Bricklink. It's called Sarah Builds. Have some Bionicle up there for all you 90s nerds, and lots of Lego friends for people that have girls. So
Have you done any new episodes of your show?
I have not. Oh, but I can tease my next thing that I'm gonna build is Lego Optimus Prime. I've already recorded the intro. I just haven't built it yet. So
So watch this space for that episode.
it's coming probably in like 5 months, but it will happen.
I am literally backed up with my edits. I have a Doc 2 episode to shoot that edit that we just did out for 2 hours. I'm like, am I going to edit this? As I said offline, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to edit this. Like, yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us, nerding out with me about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We'll see you same fracking time, same fracking channel. Frack off.